Hi everybody, Henry here with the Arizona Roofer answering your questions. Oh, excuse me. Still early in the morning here and I got my cup of coffee and I'm about to head out the door here soon. Got my a zombie hunter t-shirt on. It's a neat Halloween gift, but I tell you, it's really a good work shirt, so and I've got work to do today. So I usually I'm part of a group of contractors and other professionals that work with AskARoofer, sponsored by the Roofers Coffee Shop. And so you can go to AskARoofer, AskARoofer.com, and ask your questions, whatever roofing questions you may have. That question's distributed amongst several of us, and then we answer your questions. In this case, Nat in Delaware asked, here we go. I just had my roof redone, and I'm meeting with them tomorrow. Them, I assume, is the roofer, to go over the project. They're telling me they put ridge venting in, however, I don't see it. There are different kinds of venting you can put at the ridge. There's boxes, power vents, solar vents. But when you say ridge vent, I assume you mean right at the ridge where the roof comes together at the very top right there. And there's a few different kinds of ridge vents, but all of them are going to have one thing in common, and that is that they will lift your trim shingles up when they put those on just about maybe half inch or so. As you can see in this picture right here, we have the ridge venting installed, and in this other photograph down below that, you can see there is a large, thick black line, kind of like outlining the ridge with a marker or something. You also notice that gap in there. It's going to be important here later for your visual inspection, but also you need that gap because the idea of a ridge vent is that air can go out. So if you didn't have the gap cut into the roof already, then the roofer should have done that as part of their installation. You need that in the intake, usually down around the ridge, sometimes your gable ends, things like that. Lets the air in, and then you need a place for the air to go out. And while the air is in your attic, it collects up heat and takes it out with it. It's the basic premise for venting. And by the way, uh, good job in having ridge venting installed in the first place. If it was done and it was done right, you've done yourself a huge favor, you and your family. Now, if you go inside the attic space, if you can't see that large thick line from the outside, maybe using a cell phone, you can zoom in, or a pair of binoculars, or have a friend with really good eyesight look at it, or maybe you have laser focused eyesight, but you should see that there's a thickness there that's not on the hips. All right, now on the inside, you should be able to look up in your attic, maybe shine a flashlight up in there and see that large black, see where the arrow's pointing right there. You should see a large black line in there. That would be the ridge vent itself that you're looking at, and that gap that was cut into the material so that the air has a place to get out. So there's a few things you could do. You could look from the outside to look for the thickness. You could look from the inside, look for that large gap in there. I really recommend if you suspect there are problems with the roof, you should call a roof consultant. A good roof consultant doesn't try to sell you a roof, so they really don't. They care about your roof, but they don't care what kind of roof you have necessarily because they're not trying to sell you a roof. They're selling you their advice, their knowledge, their expertise about roofing. And you can probably find any good roof consultant just by looking them up, or you can go to IBEX website and find one there as well. You could also call a home inspector. Some of those guys won't get on the roof, so make sure you ask them and be clear about that. You could also call one of their competitors. I'm sure they would be happy to come out and take a look at it, but be a little careful there because they may also be a little biased in their opinion. Or you could call your local contractor licensing department. Now, I don't know what you do over in your state, but in Arizona, we have our registry of contractor has a program called Build with Confidence, and you can call them just to have an inspection done. There's no harm, no foul. You just, like you're saying, you suspect that there may not have been a component installed or something is amiss about the project, and they'll send an investigator out who will take a look at it and let you know what they find. And if there's a problem, then they can deal with it. If not, then no harm, no foul. There's no complaint necessary in order to get that, other than I'm not sure. So I don't know what it is in your state, but that's how it is here. And so I hope that answers your question. If you have more questions, or any of you other folks out there have any questions, you can go to AskARoofer.com and post your question, and several people will answer you. or you can just reach out to me as well, and I can answer you, and I'll probably just go ahead and share it with AskARoofer anyways, because if you're asking the question, then other people are also asking the question. Okay, I'm going to go to work. You guys have a great day.